I want to talk about time signature today. Look at my fancy little beautiful sign that says time signature. And what is this right here? I have 3 different examples of time signature. 2-4, 3-4, and 4-4. Now we're actually going to start with 4-4 time because that is the one that we do the most in music class. I'm really close to the camera. Very excited about time signature. Okay, so 4-4 time. There's a 4 on top of a 4. It's not really a fraction. It's not 4/4. It's 4-4 time. Now, the bottom 4 in our time signatures, 3-4 time, 2-4 time. That bottom 4 always means the same thing. So we're going to come back to that bottom 4. But let's talk about the number on top. So the top number tells you how many beats there are in each measure. How many beats, not how many notes, how many beats. So how many beats do we have in each measure of 4-4 time? Correct, 4. There are 4 beats in each measure of 4-4 time. So let's look at some samples. Oh, well, there's our basic. Do, 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 quarter notes. That could be a measure. Let's look at something maybe slightly more exciting. Oh, how about we throw in something like this? So we've got do, do, day, do. Now, there's more than 4 notes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and our squiggle wiggle, our quarter rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that didn't help. That did have 4 notes. But it's got 4 beats because we know the quarter note is 1 beat, double eighth note is 1 beat, and then a quarter note is 1 beat, and a quarter rest is 1 beat. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right, double eighth note, remember, each eighth note is half of a beat. But together, they buddy up with their pal and they say, hey, buddy, hey, pal, let's hang out. Together we'll be 1 beat. Yeah, that's what our double eighth notes do. Now, what I wanted to show you, here we go. Here's one that's a little more exciting. So we've got a half note, do, do, 1, 2, 3, 4. This only has 1 and 2 notes, and then a squiggle wiggle, quarter rest, but it's still 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so back to time signature. So 4-4 time means there's 4 beats in the measure. Okay, we're going to come back to what that bottom 4 means. Let's look at 3-4 time. What does 3-4 time mean? Well, what does that 3 tell us? What does the top number tell us? How many beats per measure? So how many beats could be in a measure? 3. All right, what about 2-4 time? What does that top number tell us? It always tells us how many per measure. How many what? Beats per measure. Okay, so let's say I gave you a project. Let's say you need to draw bar lines, measure lines between measures, but you're going to have more than 2 beats in a measure. So we're going to start with something pretty easy, okay? So let's say you have to figure out where is 1 measure in 2-4 time. Well, that is 1 beat. So I'm going to draw a little line. That is 1 beat. So together, that's 2 beats right there. So I could go ahead and draw my line right there because I have 1, 2, 1, and that is also worth 1 beat. Okay, so that would be if we're splitting up rhythms into 2-4 time. Now let's say we were going to split this in 3-4 time. All right, so this is worth how many beats? Do day. That's 1 beat. So I can draw a big 1 here. I could draw a little and sign if I wanted to. So that's 1 and how many beats? It's just 1 beat, so that's beat number 2. And then how many beats is that guy? It's worth 1 beat. Oh, I was just supposed to be doing tally marks. So 1, 2, and 3. So I would have to put a line there, and that's like a bonus. That would be in our next measure. So if we were in 3/4 time, look at how beautiful that is. If we're in 3/4 time, and I want you to find out, where would your measure lines be? Where would that happen? You'd have 1 and 2 and 3. That would be one measure in 3/4 time. Okay, let's go back to just basic, what is time signature? So we have 2/4 time, 3/4 time, and our most common and very favorite, and the one we use all the time, 4/4 time. The top number always tells us how many beats per measure. Well, here's what that bottom number 4 means. That bottom 4, just to kind of simplify things, it tells us that the quarter note is the heartbeat note. The quarter note is our basic breakdown of a beat. So the quarter note gets 1 beat. 1 quarter note equals 1 beat. So 4/4 time, that's why I always say this measure, 4 quarter notes, is like our most basic, just rock solid, easy to understand measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 notes, and every single note is worth 1 beat. Do, 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 do. Okay, so that's an overview of time signature. Now, what you're probably going to do next is an activity where you have a lot of rhythms, a lot of different notes, quarter notes, double eighth notes, quarter rests, half notes, maybe there's even some 16th notes, and you get to go in and divide it up into appropriate measures. So remember, if it's in 2/4 time, that means there's 2 beats per measure. If it's in 3/4 time, then there's 3 beats per measure. And if it's in 4/4 time, it's 4 beats per measure. Time signature.